Everyone, I have Richard from the band TrueShot with me today. If you're not familiar with them, you're gonna become familiar with them today. um, Richard, man, how you doing, dude? How's
I'm
everything?
doing I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing really well. I'm stoked to be on.
Yeah,
I've watched a few of your episodes, man, and it's always cool to watch podcasts and eventually become a guest on those podcasts.
right. Yeah, no, I've watched a few of yours too, and it's rad. I watched a little bit of the Cohen one today, so I love that band.
Oh, did
It's
you?
a good
Yeah,
band. Yeah, and I watched that Silverstein. I never got into Silverstein, so I watched.
yeah,
I threw on your guys' reaction to Silverstein, and that song's pretty fucking badass. I was like,
yeah. I
I feel like
liked
it's
it.
different from their old stuff though,
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm
but
definitely
it's
not a
pretty cool.
Silverstein. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not a Silverstein expert, but I was like, this
Me
is very
neither.
different from what I'm used to hearing
It's
about
like
Silverstein.
I know it's like more mainstream,
Yeah,
but
I
I
dug
like
it
that
though.
shit. Yeah, I like
Yeah.
when it's done well. I dig it.
Yep.
I'm a big Bring Me the Horizon fan. You know,
Okay.
and I love that new Architects record too. And I just like that shit like catches me. I'm like, oh, okay, they're doing something different.
Yeah, man,
You
I'm
know?
a sucker for those like down tune hanging riffs. I don't know why.
Yes.
I love that stuff.
Dude, same with me. I was like, let me watch this video. I want to check it out. I want to see what this Silverstein song's like. I was like, that's
Yeah.
fucking rad, dude. Hell yeah. Kathy, you never got it. No, I don't know. They were like one band. There was like a few. Bayside I never got into. And they're from New York and I'm from New York. I never
Oh,
got into
okay.
them. I was weird with like the emo stuff. Like I love Taking Back Sunday, and I don't know who else. I can't think off the top of my head at the moment. Under Oath
Yeah.
was huge into when I
You know
was
what's
growing
funny? I've
up.
never really listened to Under Oath and
No,
never.
I feel like
Yeah,
you would
that's just
love them.
yeah, it's
There's,
always one of those bands that people are
you
surprised when I tell them that, but
you
yeah,
know
I
what
don't.
record you would like from them? Oh man, what is that
Oh, yeah,
one?
somebody gave me a
It's
Nick
the blue
Nocturnal gave me
cover.
a recommendation.
Nick did.
Yeah, I can't remember which one he told me to check out,
It's
but
hold on, I want to find you it. Where's the la, 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 la. See this out? Oh, this is it. Was it this? Hold on. Yes, disambiguation. It's
okay.
it's like a light blue cover with
All
their,
right.
Under Oath has like the O with the
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
through it. That
Yep.
record.
Okay.
It's
I'll have to
like
check it out.
they like went like heavier with it and has some like really sick riffs in it. I was like really taken back by it. But I don't think it got really well received back then because it was such a change.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
one of
Yeah, no,
those. But I liked
yeah,
it. I was like, dude, they're heavy. I
yeah, exactly. No, man,
was
but
like,
no,
this is cool.
the emo stuff, I guess, kind of, I listened to a little bit. Like, I can name like one song from Taking Back Sunday, one song from Silverstein. We were just talking about them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I never really got too into that stuff other than, if I, liked a girl in middle school and she didn't like me back, I throw on some Over and Over by 3 Days Grace. You know what I mean?
3 days grace, yes, dude. So when did you? Well, how old are you actually?
I'm 28. I'm
Oh, okay.
28.
So we're
Yep.
like kind of. I'm 34. I'm a bit older, but hey. So
Yeah.
what did you get in like growing up? Like what kind of like when did you get into like metal music and all that shit? Like when did
Oh
you?
man, I would say
I'm a.
that's a great question. I like one of my earliest memories of coming into contact with metal is I think in like the year 2000. I want to say I was about seven
Okay.
years old then, and then I listened
Damn.
to the Slipknot first record in one of my friend's dad's trucks.
That
'Cause-
young?
Yeah, that was like my
No
first introduction.
shit.
I don't think I necessarily got into it then, but
Yeah.
I remember like
You remember it?
having listened to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and then I
That's
think
pretty
from
cool,
there,
actually.
yeah, no, for sure. And then from there, I think like most kids in my around my age, Avenged Sevenfold was
Mhm.
like that band.
They were.
Yeah.
That
And
was a big
then,
one.
yep, exactly. And I think for me, I remember I still play a little bit to this day, but I used to play World of Warcraft with my friends, and we used to jam the Meteora album by Linkin Park. So I actually
Dude, great
listened to
record.
Meteora first before Hybrid Theory. But
Oh shit, nice.
yeah, so those are kind of my gateways,
Yeah.
if you will.
And
Yeah.
that that started opening everything up.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah. And then from there, I found like Atreyu,
Yep.
um, and I remember
Love
my
Atreyu.
friends. Yeah, no, they're great. My friend's brother used to listen to Lamb of God, so I was kind of, poking in the room, listening to that a little bit, kind of getting into the,
Yeah. They had
that.
that shit. That's so
Yeah,
rad. Yeah, Lamb of God was a big one for me too.
yep.
That was like Slipknot. I mean, I grew up on like classic, then I found out about like new metal. And then that just kind of like opened the gates from there for me at
Yeah,
least.
definitely new metal. Yeah, I mean, I loved all that stuff, like, Limp Bizkit as I started getting, a
Oh
little bit
yeah.
older, started discovering them, and then yeah, man, it's been quite an interesting journey, especially getting into metalcore. I didn't really get
Yeah.
into that till a little bit later, in all
Oh
honesty.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because I was big into you remember that band Battle Cross?
Yeah, dude, on Metal Blade?
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
I have a tattoo of one of their albums on me.
Oh wow.
I was like really into them,
Dude, they're
and
a
then
sick band.
yeah, no, dude, their
They
3
really
I
are.
mean, their 3 albums that they got are absolute money. Like, they're awesome thrash,
Dude, yeah.
stuff,
That
and,
was
yeah, so then from there, I kinda discovered As I Lay Dying, probably around 2010, 2011-ish,
okay, yeah.
and then that was my descent into metalcore from
Right
there.
there. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
what was my descent into metal? I'm trying to remember. It could have been Kill Switch.
Yeah.
Could have been As I Lay Dying. It's like one of those bands, like really into like metalcore. I guess Lamb of God. What is Lamb of God considered?
It's funny, like, if you look
You
it
ever think
up,
about it?
I think if you look it up, I think they might say some of it's metalcore, like some of the older stuff. I don't know,
Yeah,
though.
it's weird
Some of
to.
it Sevenfold's even considered
Yeah,
metalcore,
for
so
sure. It's crazy to think that. Like, I don't know. Lamb of God just has like their own sound.
yeah,
You know?
groove metal, or I
Yeah.
don't know, groove core,
Just no
yeah.
one writes shit like them. No one sounds like them. I don't
Yeah,
think, at least. Like they really have their own thing. Old school metalcore. Okay, that makes sense.
yeah, they're just, 220 plus BPM every track, just going, going, going.
Mm-hmm. They fucking are. So when did you start getting into doing vocals?
Well, so that came, I'd say, like, a couple years later.
Oh no shit. Okay.
Yeah, a couple
Early
years
on.
later. So, yeah, it's, probably about 20. I'm trying to remember exactly, because I remember really what kinda got me into wanting to try. I mean, I always was like, "Oh, that's cool," like, that'd be kinda cool to do, but then I remember I was at Mayhem Fest, which was my
Nice.
first ever concert. I've never been to a concert before that.
And your first one
And
was Mayhem Fest.
yep, and then I saw
Shit.
yeah,
That's
and then I
big.
saw Whitechapel, and I was just like, "God damn,
Yeah.
if that dude can do that," because I mean, he looked like, Phil's not a
He's not a
gigantic human,
no, he's a
you know?
small guy.
Yeah, so I
He
saw that, and I
is.
just thought he was a beast, and I was like, "Man," so, like, I started out trying to, very poorly, and still to this day, mimic him or whatever,
Yeah.
'cause he's just on another stratosphere, but,
Yeah, he is.
yeah, it was really that where I was like, "Damn, I kinda wanna try this." So, yeah, somewhere out in the internet, there's a iPhone 4 cover of me doing "Possibilities of an Impossible Existence" somewhere out there.
It's somewhere on YouTube,
So,
probably.
I hope not, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully, hopefully everything you guys did, because you guys, TrueShot does a lot on YouTube. Hopefully that's buried it. You can't
Yeah,
find it, right?
I hope so. Oh, man. Oh, jeez. It's like when you go look back at your old Facebook memories from, like,
Oh my
12
God,
years ago,
dude.
and you're
Don't
like,
get me
"Ah, shit, I
started.
better delete that."
Yeah, oh yeah. I've done it many times, even like tweets, because I mean, I've had Twitter since like 2009, and I've
Yeah.
gone back to like look up like old tweets. And I'm like, oh my God, what the fuck did I post this for?
Yeah,
I
and the
don't even
best
remember
part
doing this.
yeah, and the best part is you don't remember the context of it, and
No.
you're like, what was
Oh
I
my
thinking at this point
God.
in time? But, yeah, man.
Dude, yeah. If anyone, if you've been on Twitter for a while, like me, you should probably go back to your old tweets, because you
Yeah,
probably,
tweetdelete.net,
yeah, yeah, because you probably said some dumb shit like myself.
I
And
definitely did,
yeah,
bro.
I remember my friend Bryce. He works for Blood Blast, and
Yeah.
he I don't know, who was some manager told him that he found like old tweets of like some dude in a band that's on Blood Blast, whatever. I could be told, like, I forget how it went, but anyway, he was just like, you should go back and make sure you don't have any like crazy things you've said on Twitter. And so Bryce, being like, me and him talk every day, so he hits me up. This is like a couple months ago. or a month ago or whatever, and he's like, "Yo, you should go back and look." And I'm like, so I did, right? And I'm like, "Oh God, what the fuck?" And I'm like, imagine someone finding that now. I'm like, dude, it's 10 years ago. Leave me alone.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I was like, I don't want to delete all this shit. Get this out of here.
Yep. No, because I think I made my Twitter in 2008. So I was like 15 years old. So it's like I'm a little bit of a different person now from when I was 15.
I feel like a lot of people are, but that's
yep.
So yeah, everyone here, go back to your old tweets and get
highly recommend. Yes.
Highly recommend it. So did you ever take like getting into vocals? Like when did you? So it was like Phil that inspired you?
Absolutely. Yeah. I definitely, I would say that, I mean, like I said before, I was always kind of interested in it, like listening to like M Shadows, back in the day, and Randy Blythe and stuff. But Phil was really the guy that was like the catalyst for me. Yeah, right? Exactly. Yep.
I feel like he's done that to a lot of people. Especially that early on, like seeing like Whitechapel early on, like that, like on Mayhem Fest and shit. That was probably,
Yeah, it was crazy.
He's a monster.
Yep. And he's just, I mean, I try to understand as much about vocals as I can, but I just listen to that guy and I'm like, I just don't. It's just like when you play baseball in high school, but there's a major leaguer, it's just like it's just a totally different playing field.
It is. It definitely is. So did you ever take like vocal lessons, or you kind of just learned everything yourself?
Oh man, I'm a car vocalist, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And,
yeah. And if you look at certain YouTube comments, they would, you would see that I probably still need lessons. But I'm doing my best, I'm just
I think you're pretty damn solid. I was watching the Deadbeat video today and I was like, this is fucking good. All right.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a weird talk because listening to so many reaction videos, it is kind of I guess a weirder kind of vocal than what I usually hear. Yeah,
and I feel like what like a lot of people are used to.
Yeah,
everyone gets used to a certain type of vocal style, especially like I feel like in the deathcore world. Everyone's trying to be like doing these gutturals and all this shit constantly. And I was talking to my friend Jacob. He manages Signs of the Swarm. We had a phone call yesterday and we were talking about like David from Signs. And like, he just tries to, he's just a fucking beast. And he, he's trying, he's doing more than just the, typical gutturals the whole fucking time where and I'm like, he is. I'm like, he's gotten so much better because damn, Jacob sent me the new record and I'm just blown away by it. And I haven't like felt that way about a new album in a while.
Yep.
And to hear that was like very refreshing. And it was like, it just like made my fucking day. You ever get like, you find like a record and you're like, wow, this is really fucking good.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It just puts you in a great mood and you're just like stoked about everything.
Yeah, no, that band is, dude. I mean, if you go, we did a reaction to The Collection, and
I saw that.
The guitar player in my band, Adam, he literally fell out of his chair. I mean, literally fell out of his chair.
Dude, that they crushed it on that. They're just trying to change it up, and I feel like a lot of bands right now, like even in like metalcore, even deathcore world, are all trying to like, they're adding some new stuff to it, to make
which is really awesome. Yeah, because. I hate to say it like because I see the comments on our YouTube all the time, but like it was kind of a point in time where deathcore, I guess, kind of got, I don't want to say it died or whatever, but it got kind of stagnant.
Still, it did.
And then like Brand of Sacrifice was that album for me that's come out where I'm like, God damn, like this is something else.
Yeah, they like added their own thing to it and completely kind of changed it up. I mean, they did change it up,
Yeah,
it did become stagnant. And I feel like, and I said this the other day too, it was like when Black Tongue came out, and Black Tongue took everyone by storm. Like it was the heaviest thing, and just like whatever. It was just like slow, heavy, just in your face. And then a lot of bands started trying to do that. Everyone's like, I'm gonna tune lower. I'm gonna tune the drop F, and then we're going to write the slowest, heaviest riffs we can write. And it's like, everyone started doing that. And I'm like, stop doing that, please.
Yeah, no, exactly. And now that kind of stuff, I mean, admittedly, that stuff's hard for me to kind of get into because I think a lot of times what happens is bands, they'll they'll do like the dun 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 over, and
Oh
I'm like,
yeah.
oh my god, I've heard this a million times.
Heard that riff? Come on, man, change it.
Yeah, and it's just, just doing doing the reactions, you start to, I mean, we've done over 700 of them at this point, so
Holy shit, is it that many right now?
yeah, dude, it's a lot. I mean, we've been going like
Wow.
daily since November of 2019, like sometimes 2, 3 times a day. Yeah, it's crazy.
Shit. That's what
Yeah.
like caught me, like, which is cool, which I want to touch on too, but like that's what I think I found out about you guys. It could have been a reaction video, or I think it was the podcast.
Okay.
I think it was before you did the one with Jeff Menning.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
I remember seeing that image and be like, oh, who's this? Who's this podcast? And then I was like, oh shit, it's a band. I'm like, whoa, okay, this is pretty cool. I didn't expect that,
Yeah.
I feel like
Another quarantine podcast.
yeah. So what else we gotta do? We're all stuck at home, man. All right, let's all talk to each other and make a damn podcast. That's what we're gonna do.
Yep.
To stay sane, because we can't hang
Yeah.
out with each other or anything.
Exactly.
But no, I think it was a cool idea. I mean, you guys, that's what pretty much how I found out about TrueShot, and I was like, oh, that's a band. Let me check out their music. I'm like, that's pretty fucking good. All right. And I saw
Yeah,
like the
thank you.
reaction videos. Then you popped up. I didn't even know you had a Twitch, and then you popped up on my recommended, and I'm like, oh my god, they got a fucking Twitch too.
Yeah.
I'm like, shit, okay, this is awesome. And then I started telling like bands, I'm like, yo, you see what this band's doing? They're kind of ahead of you. I know you're like, oh, I don't want to make a Twitch. You probably should.
Yeah, man. No, I definitely,
Cool.
I definitely live and die by the I want to be everywhere, so that way you find out about us in some way. Like
Yeah.
whether it's through a reaction video or just scrolling on Facebook, someone shit, just any possible way to hear the name TrueShot. I just want to plant that seed, and hopefully it blossoms into you checking out all the other stuff.
Exactly. I mean, it's like endless amount of content that you guys
Yeah.
have. It's not
Yep.
you don't just have music, but you also have the reaction videos, which you can go on Twitch and watch it live if you want. Do you do them all live first, or sometimes you don't?
Yeah, so that's kind of a sort of a more recent thing we started doing, where
Oh,
we do
okay.
them live on Twitch, and I'll post like a video on YouTube saying that we're live on Twitch, saying we're recording the reactions to these
Ah.
bands. Hopefully try to
Bring
drive up the engagement, try to bring them over to Twitch.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I've noticed that like Nick Nocturnal does that. He'll post
Yeah.
a new
Yep.
video and I guess in the beginning he'll say like he's live on Twitch. And
Yep.
when he posts a video on YouTube, he makes sure he goes live on Twitch as
Yep.
well. So that he's obviously Nick Nocturnal just has a huge following on YouTube. We all
Yeah,
know this.
yeah.
So by him doing that, I've watched his numbers grow too, though, which is great.
Yeah.
I've seen him go from like 100 low 100 viewers. Now he's pushing over 200, and it's like it's
Yeah.
working. It takes a little time.
It does, and I
know?
think that's the thing too. I think I know a lot of people. A lot of people, I guess, they when they don't have that instant not instant success, but like if they don't get it after 2, 3, 4 tries, you're like, ah, shoot, this just isn't working. See you later.
Yeah.
And you just got to keep at it, man. It is very disheartening because you can just keep trying and trying and trying, and it's just like do. You just slowly go up the mountain.
Slowly, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's the same way when I stream. Like some stream obviously are going to be bigger than others, and
Of
like
course.
and even the ones that I think are gonna perform well because it's like a bigger guest sometimes don't. But that could be ultimately because these people, people, their fans or whatever, might be at work, or just
Yeah.
it's just the time of the day or it's whatever. So you never know sometimes why. But yeah, it's weird. It's like up and down, and you got to kind of like, I tell a lot of people that stream and stuff, I'm like, you got to don't look at the viewership, like just do
your
it,
thing.
do your fucking thing. Whoever's there, engage with them. And have a good time, and that's just how you fucking do it.
Yeah, I guess
You
I just
know?
always look at it as like playing a local show. There could be 2 people that show up to the show, or there could be 102 people.
Exactly.
Just play your set the same way, just
Mhm.
stream the same way, and eventually you'll become acclimated to performing on that in that medium, and
Mhm.
it'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll just be normal for you.
Yeah,
You don't have to like push yourself
right.
to perform. You know what I'm saying? That's a great way to look at it. So with we'll get back to the content creation stuff because I love talking about it, and I want like more
Yeah.
people to know, and whoever's here that's in a band possibly, or you know someone's trying to stream and whatnot. I think they're gonna get like some ideas from us and you know
Yeah.
motivation and whatnot to
Yep.
do it. But going back to your band, TrueShot, how did this all get started?
so so this happened in early 2018. I remember I was actually talking to the guitar player. His name is Josh Thomas from Thousand Below.
Oh, okay. I love
And
that band.
yeah, I
Great
actually met
band.
him. Yeah, so I always there's a little bit of an origin story with that, which all ties in. So it's
Cool.
kind of a cool story. So um in October of 2017, I was in Philadelphia by chance,
Uh-huh.
and and they were playing a show with Vela Maya.
Yep.
And at the time, I was finishing up my journalism degree, and one of my assignments was I had to live tweet a live event. So I was like,
Oh,
"Oh shit, I'll just do this concert. I mean, why
yeah.
not?"
Yeah, why not, right?
And
Going to it.
yeah, so I was live tweeting it, and while Thousand Below was playing, and then Josh followed me back, and at the time I wrote for the website Bleacher Report for the sports website.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
No shit.
yeah, so
That's
I
rad.
wrote for them for 3 years. Yeah, and so Josh was into football, and I was obviously writing about it, so we kind of connected that way.
Mm-hmm.
And in about March of 2018, I just messaged him. I was like, dude, I think I kind of want to start a band. He was like, dude, do it. So I was like, all right, shit, I'll do it. So I posted an ad on Craigslist, and
Okay.
I didn't know where else to go because I wasn't really too involved in the into the local scene, you know, so to speak.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Because at this time I had a son already, and he was
Okay.
7.
Oh
He's
shit.
10. He's 10 now.
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
So
that's awesome.
yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, I was 17 when I had him. That's another story. But but anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, so I posted the ad on Craigslist, and Adam, who's our guitar player still, he hit
Mm-hmm.
me up, and we kind of got talking, and we needed somebody to play drums, obviously. So I hit up my friend who's no longer in the band, but
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "Yeah, I don't got anything else going on, whatever." And then we all met at like a sports bar and just kind of talked and saw if, like, you know, we want to make sure none of us were like weirdos or whatever.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you gotta make sure you get along, you're not weird.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then from there, Adam brought his friend Derek in, who still plays bass for us today,
Cool.
and we just kind of jammed out, you know, played a couple of songs together, like, you know, The Void by Parkway Drive, Rosa Sharon by Kill
Oh,
Switch,
dude, man. Yeah.
Party with the Devil by Attila, you
Oh
know.
man. All right. So yeah.
So
What a
we just
mix.
played exactly
What a
great
mix.
set list, and
Yeah.
yeah, man. So we just kind of jammed for a little bit. We're just like, just kind of getting a feel for each other, and
Yeah.
just kind of, I guess we officially kind of became an entity, I would say, in about May or June of 2018. Yeah.
Wow. That's rad.
Yeah.
And it just took off from there. So do you guys think you'll fill the other spots in the band?
Dude, we listen, we've
Or are
been
you
trying to find a
waiting?
drum. We've been trying. No, we've been trying to find a drummer for a while. Drummers are, as you
Dude,
probably know in your experience, they're
hot commodity.
impossible to find.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard. It's well, yeah, there are a lot of drummers, but to find a good one, but also maybe even someone that's relatively close to where you live.
Well, right. We're in New Hampshire, so I mean,
Yeah,
there's
you're all
already 12 people in this state total. So it's like, how many of those are drummers? You know what I
yeah.
mean?
You're right about that. Oh yeah, Josh said fill another Craigslist ad. Did you try?
Yeah. Oh
Did you
God.
try?
Well, we have. I mean, literally, we have, and
Yeah.
let's just say they weren't
It's,
qualified for the position, so to
no.
speak. But no. So I mean, since then we've been fortunate to have my friend, because I've known Josh Richardson, who's the drummer for Begat the Nephilim,
Oh,
for
okay, yeah, I know that
over
band.
10 years. I've known him,
Oh,
so
wow.
he's filled in for us here and there, tracked some drums for songs. But the problem is he's so goddamn good that
Oh, he
nobody else can
is.
play that stuff.
Yeah, dude, I do. I
So,
mean, that band's technical, so he's yeah,
yeah, he's insane. I mean,
yeah.
he's so good.
So he's helped out there, though.
Helped out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he tracked drums for 2 of our songs, Reticent and Mirage. And then we had Josh Miller from Amir track, Deadbeat Lullaby. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Red Devil said Bryce Butler is looking for a 40th band to play in. You know Bryce? You know I'm talking. You know
No, I
he's
don't.
the drummer now for Shadow of Intent.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Bryce
Now
Butler.
that, yep,
Yeah.
yep. Now,
Yep.
okay. Yep.
He's in like
That makes
15
sense.
bands.
Yeah,
That's
actually, I
his
think
main
I've seen
now.
his Facebook profile where it has
You did,
like,
right? Yeah.
yeah, I actually
Yeah.
think I have seen that.
It's like it's just a nice list.
Yeah.
He lives like 20 minutes from me. We used to live together for like a year and a half.
Oh, cool.
But
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, maybe he might look for another band. He does like session drumming too, so it's like if you guys ever need somebody to record shit, he'd probably do it.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
He's
it's
good at it all.
yeah, for sure. It's just, it's obviously,
It's
with shows hopefully coming back, we're like, all right, we got to start trying to, hit
we gotta
that
find
pavement a little bit
someone.
harder. We got to find someone,
Yeah,
but
it's a
yeah,
pain, dude.
it is.
So it's just you three guys right now, right?
It's just us three. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
been all of us since day one. Yeah,
Wow.
pretty much.
And
Yeah.
how long has the band been around for? A couple years?
About
Or
3
3 years?
at this point now. Yeah.
Right? You said it was
About
like
3.
2018.
Yeah. So
The
about
band
3 at
formed?
this point. Yep.
Facebook ads is good as well. I mean, you could. It's just hard, dude. Like if you can't come, especially in like the world that like the metal world, I don't know. If you
Yeah.
can't find a drummer outside of doing ads, you're not gonna find a drummer by posting an ad, I feel like. But you never know sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Could
You
post one
never know.
today.
Yeah, no, it's tough,
It's
man.
hard,
But
man.
it's just kind of one of those things that we're like, listen, if it comes down to it, I mean, we'll figure something out. But
Yeah. Like
um,
if the band
yeah.
got a tour, it would be like, all right, let's find somebody to fill in that we can hire for
exactly.
it and bring them
Right.
out.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what we would do, and we have some shows kind of booked for later in the year, and that's what we're gonna do. And I told Jeff actually, I was like, you on Featured X-Men, you got to have a touring drummer section, or you gotta have
Dude,
that. I mean,
I
why
mean,
not, right?
why the fuck not? Not let
Yeah.
it just be like, yo, get this musician on your record.
Yeah.
How about can he tour? Can we
Yeah.
hire him to tour with us?
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. I mean, there's definitely some touring drummers out there, and he said he liked the idea, so
It's not a
hopefully,
bad one, honestly.
yeah,
Especially
I
for
was like,
drummers, because those are the hardest ones to come by, bro.
well, I think the thing is too is where it's been us three since day one. It's almost like, god damn, like how it's like impossible to find that drummer where it's been just us. We've been fortunate enough for it to just be us three since the beginning. You know what I mean? Because
Oh,
usually
yeah.
there's tons of turnover, but
Yeah, no, they're
but
definitely.
yeah.
That's wild. Yeah, I mean, so what was I gonna ask? Oh yeah, so what are like some of your guys' like main influences? You think? Like,
So it's actually kind of
together.
cool. I like to say that we kind of really come together, like kind of meet in the middle, because Adam, who writes the majority of the music, pretty much, I mean, literally all of it.
all
You
of
know,
it,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
that guy.
He's that guy, yeah. So he really likes the more kind of, I guess, progressive stuff like Era or August Burns Red.
Oh yeah, that's my shit.
Yeah, and then I really like Amur. Like that's my band. I'm wearing an Amur shirt right now. You know,
Yeah.
that's my favorite band. I really
love
like
Amur.
that kind of stuff. Yeah. And then we kind of cross over a little bit with like the As I Lay Dying and Polaris and stuff like that. So
Like Era and all that stuff too, right?
yeah,
I can hear
I
that.
just recently started getting into Era, but
Really? Yeah, I think they're a fucking great band.
yeah. Actually, I'm gonna be talking to JT on our podcast here pretty soon. So
Oh hell yeah, he seems like such a cool guy.
yeah, he really is a cool guy. I've been in his Twitch streams and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
no, man, so I like to think that we try to meld those two styles together.
Yeah.
Try to bring those together, and yeah, because I remember one time I saw a reaction video that was you said, for fans of Era, August Burns Red, and Amur, and I'm like, hell yeah, that's exactly what I'm shooting for.
Perfect. Yes, that's what it is. That's what we want to do.
Yeah.
No, that's rad. So we got a couple questions
Sure.
from people in the chat. Nevi asked, I know nothing about TrueShot as a band or their sound, but what does Richard think about when artists are expected to have the same sound all the time?
So
that's
I
interesting.
actually have kind of a different perspective on this. And this is something that we are actively trying to do with our own music, and I think it's something that the band Spirit Box does really well.
Yeah, they
Is
do.
that from out of the gate, they acclimate the listener to various styles. Because I think when a
Yes.
band has the same style for 10 years, I mean, yes, of course, there are people, they want to do what they want to do, but there's also like that, well, man, I mean, we've kind of been doing this sound for 10 years. I mean, we're going to get
Gotcha.
you got to expect some backlash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think it's one of those things that it's just, you know, if you're kind of in that spot as a band and you want to make that sonic change, just be prepared for there's going to be some backlash, but
Oh
you
yeah,
could grow. I mean, you could grow as a result of it too, you know?
yeah,
So
definitely can.
it's just following what you want to do and just taking the lumps where they may come, because it's going to happen regardless, you know?
Yeah, you're gonna get the
Um,
negative feedback regardless of what you do.
exactly. So, but I really like, you know, like kind of what Spirit Box is doing, and it's something that I hope that we're doing as well, is trying to dive into different styles of stuff. So, because it's cool, like Mirage is kind of the more like traditional metalcore kind of song, and Deadbeat Lullaby is kind of a little bit more of like the
A little
heavier end.
aggressive, yeah. I feel
Yeah,
like it's
so
a more aggressive song you guys have.
right, exactly. So it's really cool. People say, "Oh, my favorite is this one. My favorite's this one," and you know, like, cool, because you kind of identify people's
Yeah,
different like the most sonically.
exactly. Yeah. And I feel like Spirit Box too, like, you know, they go like the melodic, they got the really soft song, and they have a really heavy song. And it's
Right.
like, you know, and they have a more like heavy slash soft song. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like
Yep.
everything together. Like they have something for everybody.
Exactly.
And I think if you can pull it off, then I think a band should do it.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree, and I think with their latest record, Loathe also did that really well.
Load,
Uh,
yeah, man.
kind of pulling
Big
off
time.
different styles.
Yeah.
So it's all about just kind of, you know, how your band has been presented, you know,
Yeah.
for a long time. You know, like for example, you know, like Asking Alexandria is a pretty decent example. They kind of had that
Oh
old
man, they did.
metalcore sound, and then they switched, and
Switched. Yep.
yeah,
Went
so
went more
yeah, they
rock, mainstream.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, and they probably grew from that. I mean, I don't know their numbers
Yeah,
historically
I
or
don't really
anything off
know
the top of my
either.
head,
But it
but
looks like they did
yeah,
from what I've
so
seen over the years. But yeah.
yeah, so it's just
Yeah.
one of those things that, you know, at the end of the day, you just got to do what you want to do, and either way, there's going to be negative feedback. So just be prepared for whatever happens. You know.
That's it. Yeah, no. It's a good way to look at it. And I think some bands get afraid. They're too afraid. They're like, oh man, if we put out this like softer song, you know, they're gonna
What I
fucking it's like, well,
Yeah, and I think there's a kind of a way to do, especially with bands that are you know, doing the albums every 2 years. You know, start
mm,
to plant that seed here and there, maybe a couple
oh
tracks.
yeah, yeah, a couple
You know,
singles. Yeah.
couple singles, you know, like single 3, for example, you know, just kinda like, "All right, okay, I see what they're doing here," and then, you know, you just kinda gradually switch. You know, but there's
Yes.
really no good formula. It's all
Yeah.
about what the person wants to do. Yeah.
Exactly. Let's see. Another question we had was from Kathy. What's one band Richard would want to tour with? I
Oh,
guess what's the one fucking band?
so when I get asked this, I always struggle between 2 bands. It's like, do
That's
I wanna say Whitechapel because Phil got me into vocals, or do I say Amure because they're the band that I love to listen to on a day-to-day basis all the
yeah.
time?
Yeah.
So
It's hard.
that's a tough one for me.
It
Whoever
is.
offers it to me first, I'll say that.
Yeah, yeah. I'll say yes to either one.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
And another one we had, God damn, can't stop coughing. I have a question. If he can say, give some tips to better breathing or push more air in the scream. I'm trying to English is a little off. But any
Okay.
tips for I guess better breathing for being a vocalist, right? Or to scream. Do you have
I
any
would say the one thing, because I got that Melissa Cross DVD and I watched that a little bit.
Yeah, I've heard it's pretty
Um,
good.
yeah,
She
so
knows what
like
she's
she
doing.
has this one tip which I thought was really, it's very like kind of minor, but it's super helpful, is that, you know, being able to in between like lines to do
Hmm.
like those, like, you know how like you'll be like like that quick little breath to put a little bit more
Yeah.
air into your lungs. If you just do that, I think that that really can help sustain you, you know, line after line, you know, if you're just going like
Yeah. Yeah,
and then
not get out of breath.
yeah. So that's always like the one tip that I give. But listen, man, I am not a great teacher. I mean, I'll just say that straight up. There's people that are
I am
much more
not a vocal
qualified than me.
coach.
I am not at all. I can just pass along some stuff that I thought, hey, that's actually a really cool tip. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely check out Melissa Cross though. I
Yeah.
remember years ago, Ricky Armellino from Hawk, formerly This of the Apocalypse. He's the guitarist for Ice Nine Kills. He's a very good friend of mine. I used to book This of the Apocalypse, but I remember back then when I was booking This of the Apocalypse, Ricky got lessons from her,
Yep.
and would watch her videos a lot and like have phone calls with her, and she would teach him stuff, and like over like FaceTime and stuff.
Oh,
And
wow.
that would really help him. And I mean, look at Ricky now. Go listen to his band Hawk. The dude's incredible. I mean,
Yeah, Ricky's awesome.
he really
Yeah,
is, man.
he mixed our EP, our very
Oh,
first
did
EP.
he?
He mixed it. Yeah.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, he's continuing. You know, that's another guy like that continues to grow and get better at his craft. You know,
He's always. Look, I remember back then. I mean, that dude was always grinding in one
always,
way, shape,
still,
or form.
still.
Yeah.
We're trying to get like me and their manager Jonathan. We caught up on a call like I don't know a couple weeks ago or whatever. Now that you know everything's the wheels are turning in the music industry, but I was like, yo, when's like Hawk gonna, you know, what's going on with the record, this and that. He's like trying to get it done, but you know, Ricky just recording band after band after band after band, and
It's
not.
tough to say no to money, man.
Yeah.
It's tough. It is tough, but no.
Well, he
man,
wants to do both things, and you know, he's like pretty much,
Yeah.
pretty sure we're like the same age, so like, you know, he's trying to like, okay, I want to be a producer. I want my recording studio to, you know, have a future, and
Yeah.
you know, he wants that to continue because you know that's making him the money, and
Yeah.
then you know, but he also loves his band. He loves writing music. You can tell he does, and he does love his band. But it's definitely hard to juggle both things.
Yeah. No, I remember like he was, I think he was actually touring with Ice Nine Kills at the time when he was mixing our EP, and
Oh yeah,
he was just doing it on his laptop, like like you know on the bus or
on the
whatever.
bus. Yep.
And I was just like, dude, like you gotta. I don't want you to spread yourself too thin, Ricky. You know,
I
I
know.
want you to be all right.
He scares me sometimes because I'm like, or like he's, you know, he got in with Ice Nine Kills and he's done tour with them and all this stuff, and then he's like, he would tell me all the time too, like I'm mixing this record for this band. Check out. He'll text me sometimes like, check this song out, check this song out. You know, from like
Yeah.
different bands. He's like, I think you'll like this. You know, what do you think? Think it sounds good? You know, this and that. Trying to get
Yeah.
my feedback on it, and but I'm, you know, he's on the road, he's touring, and I'm like, dude, calm down.
Yeah. No, and
you know.
I mean, obviously not to that extent, but I can relate to him in terms of like I love to keep busy.
Yeah.
But what happens sometimes is you're like, all right, I can maintain all this stuff, but then there's always those times where they all overlap, and then they all kind of come together, and you're like, oh shit, what am I gonna do?
And then you start forgetting to do things, or forget like what you have on your agenda, and it's like, oh my god, I forgot to do this, and that.
I got a whiteboard right here that I have to keep everything written down at all times because I'll forget if I don't.
I set like reminders on my phone or like my Google Sheets. I always have open because you know booking tours. I do, you know, I have everything in Google Sheets, and I'll put reminders. Be like, go make sure to hit this promoter back up. Get that deal done. You know, this and that. So it's a lot. You know. Excuse me. So how long? We got another question. How long? Let's see. Let me. How long did it take you to learn to scream before you could sing the whole song with screaming and growls?
Oh, so like how long did it take for me to be able to get through a whole song without? Okay. Well, so TrueShot is my first band ever. So
this is your first fucking band.
Yeah, this is my first band. So I mean, our first show was November of 2018. So I would say that was the first. I mean, it's a practice before then or whatever, but I would say 2018 was the first time that I really sat down and like screamed through a whole song. Yeah.
Wow. Was it a lot? It's like weird because I can't do vocals.
Lot. Dude, I look back at like when we were first practicing together and I was like, oh my God, like that is bad. Like people in the comments think I'm bad now. But if they said it 3 years ago, they'd actually have a good point.
Yeah,
you know? Not that I'm saying that I'm great now, or whatever, but I'm saying 3 years ago, th'd be like, all right, that's a valid point you have there, sir.
You're right about that.
Yeah, man, it's just one of those things. You just gotta keep at it. And
that's really it.
Yeah. And I think me writing for that sports website, which got millions, I mean, I'm not even kidding, like millions of views on our articles that I wrote.
Wow.
And I experienced a lot of criticisms that way online. So I kind of got a little used to that before getting into a band.
That's good. You're like prepared.
I was prepared. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like being told to jump off a bridge because you think the Chargers are gonna go 8-8 or whatever, you know? But yeah, that happens.
That happens, especially in sports, man.
Yeah, oh
Sports,
yeah, they're psychopaths.
dude. Yeah, and I'm not like, I don't know. I like what, like some of my friends here in Dallas that I'm close with, like they're really into like hockey and football. So like
Yeah,
when I'm around them, when there's a game on or something, we're out like, hey, let's go out to this bar, get some drinks, some food, watch the game. I will, and like I'll
yeah,
enjoy it, like, but I
yeah.
don't follow it. You
Oh
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. No, for that's the healthy way to approach it. Some of
it
these
probably
people,
is, right?
paint their faces, and I'm like, oh my god,
I'm
bro,
like,
like
damn,
chill
calm
out.
down.
Yeah, yeah,
Like I've gone to some like Dallas Stars hockey games, and they're fucking fun, but like it never like, I don't know, sports never really like brought me in. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like it was music that always caught my attention. That has like my
yeah.
full attention, to be honest with you. Early on, I was like early teenager, like 12, 13. I was in the BMX racing.
Oh really? Wow.
Yeah. And then skateboarding too. And then I fucking started getting into like metal music and it kind of took me away. I was like, I like
Yeah.
music the most.
Yeah, no, dude. Yeah, no, that's funny. Yeah, I was really into baseball growing up, but I have a terrible knee issue, and I've had like 8 surgeries on my right knee, and
Fuck,
yeah,
man.
so any sports now I just play co-ed slow pitch softball. You know what I mean? That's my extent these days. But yeah, man, my knees are shot. I actually remember at one of our show, probably like our third show ever, I like jumped and I like came down. I was like, oh shit! Like I
Oh
just I
man,
hurt my knee immediately, and I was like, God
dude.
damn, I gotta be careful.
Yeah, I have a bad left knee. I actually fractured it when I was
Oh,
13. When I was 13, I hit by a car on my bike.
what?
Yeah, I
Oh
was
my
living in Florida. We were living
god!
in Florida. Like me and my family always like went
Of
down to
course, it was
like,
in Florida.
I
Of
know,
course.
right? Me and my family always went down to Orlando for like Disney World for vacation, like every year. Then all of a sudden they're like, let's move to Florida. So we did. And we lived there for 4 years. And I lived in Kissimmee, Florida, which is just right outside of Orlando. And yeah, I was riding my bike across this like smaller highway. There's like 2 lanes on
Oh,
each side, a median in the middle. But I didn't look like before I started crossing the highway, I was with 2 friends. They didn't get hit, but they were ahead of me. They got across before me. We were leaving like a McDonald's, but before I started crossing the highway, I remember looking both ways, seeing no cars at all. So I just started going, went through the median, and I didn't stop to look to my right. I just went into the road, and then car just fucking slammed me. So
dude.
yeah, fractured my left knee, broke my right leg, broke
Oh
my
my
pelvis.
god.
It
Jesus.
was crazy. So like from there, after that happened, I was 13. Yeah, I was 13. After that happened, that's when I could still skateboard and everything, but I couldn't like do too much, like even ollie that well anymore. And then like BMX racing, I kind of just stopped doing. And that's kind of like when I started getting into like metal music, and then that just caught my attention more than anything. Like I wasn't bummed or anything, like I couldn't really BMX anymore, but
Yeah, dude, that sucks.
but yeah, it definitely sucks. It was fucking terrible. But
Yeah.
I only had one surgery on my left knee,
Well, I
so
mean, that's
I had 2 screws in it. But I
well, it's
can't hold that much weight. Like there's been a couple times where it's come dislocated, like from some
oh,
at a show, being at a show, people jumping up on your
oh,
shoulders to like,
yeah.
pile-ons. I remember there was one time in Poughkeepsie at the Chance, my friend Joe jumped on my back and I just felt my left knee just dislocate and then pop back in. But it doesn't matter. As soon as that
Horrible.
happens, you're fucking not walking. And it
Yeah,
just
dude,
swells
that's
up.
awful.
And it just swells up like a fucking softball.
Yeah, that's awful.
But
Yeah,
damn.
I remember I was at a baseball tryout actually, like a Babe Ruth league or whatever, and I
Oh, no
was
shit.
running around second. I was like, my knee. I felt like there was like a
Something
like a like a quarter in my knee. Like it was just like it felt very odd, like something
that
that
is
was like
odd.
floating around. Yeah. And I lived with my grandmother a lot growing up, and she was like, you're fine, Richard, you're fine." You
Get
know,
over it.
yeah, you're fine. And eventually she took me to the doctors eventually. And then, yeah, I have a condition where the blood flow to my knee isn't quite there. So the bone started to decay and was breaking apart. So
Whoa.
yeah.
That's
Yep.
something.
Yeah, it's called osteochondritis dissecans for anybody who's interested.
Well, I know
But
Nevi in chat. He works at a hospital, so he may know what that is.
oh, so he'll probably
He
know, and
may know.
he can explain. It's not fun. It's I guess it's pretty rare. I guess it's more
Oh,
common
it
in
is.
cats. It's more common in cats and dogs and stuff than it is people.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
something.
so definitely did not draw the
Oh, he doesn't.
doesn't deal with much with
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I see him in the chat. Yeah, no, it's so yeah, I had multiple surgeries and then I eventually had
Dude,
one
wow.
yeah, toward the end of December 2015 where they had to use a cadaver bone and cartilage and stuff like that. They had to break my leg and put a rod in it to straighten my leg out. Dude, it was pretty gruesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude. How long did
Yeah.
it take to recover from that?
About a full year. I mean, it took a long time. Yeah, it took a long time. And then after that, not even joking, like after that, 3 months later, I tore my labrum and bicep in my right shoulder and arm. I
Dude.
had surgery. Yeah. So, I've been beat to shit, dude.
Jesus, dude. That sucks so
I mean,
much.
I would rather have all that happen than be hit by a car, though. I'll say that.
Yeah, that was crazy. I remember waking up the next morning in the hospital and my parents are there, right? And my dad's like, you know what happened? I'm like, yeah. Hit by a fucking car. I'm like, how's my bike? He's like, he just starts laughing. He's like, are you fucking serious? He's like, you serious, Dan? I'm like, yeah. He's like, the bike is done, dude. Shut up. I'm like, can I get a new one when I get the fuck out of here? He's like, can we not talk about a new bike? And I'm like,
yeah,
all right,
dude, for real.
whatever. I'm like, I'm alive. I'm good. I'm good. He's like, yeah, you almost died. I'm like, okay, all right, okay. How bad?
No,
I'm like, so what's wrong with me? All right, what's wrong with me? He's like, well, this is what's wrong with you. I'm like, Jesus Christ. All right.
Dude, yeah,
That's crazy shit, bro.
Jesus, yeah.
Crazy stuff.
I definitely do not want to be hit by a car. I can
No,
just
dude.
imagine. I just
No,
send
terrible.
shivers up my spine thinking about that.
It's fucking, it was nuts, dude. Crazy situation. But anyway,
Yeah.
so when starting TrueShot and everything, when did you guys start getting into like whose idea was it to like kind of do more content for the band other than just releasing music, right? So like you know what I'm referring to, the reaction videos,
Yeah.
stuff like that, podcast.
Yeah, so me,
Nice.
it was me.
Yeah.
I've always been interested in like like reaction videos and stuff like that. And for us, we're kind of older. Adam and Derek are both older than I am, and I'm like, guys, we have got to find a way to stick out from the rest of the 150,000 other metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's just a ton. There's a ton. I mean, like
there's so many.
Like think of a number in your head of how many metalcore bands. Oh, there's this many. No, times that by 10, and there's that many.
There's actually that many.
And I'm like, because guys, we can't take 5-10 years before anybody knows who we are. I mean, we have to do something as fast as possible. I mean, we just have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just like, I really like the reaction videos. I said, but what I think would be really cool is if me and Adam both did them, because he's a guitar player and he can really speak to the technical side of it all.
Exactly.
And there's no bands doing this. I mean, there's no metalcore band react. None of that.
Yeah, there really isn't.
No, at all. And I was just like, I think this would be a really cool idea. And
just give it a shot, right? Might as well.
Yep, exactly. So our very first reaction was to Lorna Shore.
Oh, okay.
And and then I think by around 1,000, by around 1,000 subs on YouTube, Ronnie Radke checked out one of our reactions to Popular Monster. So
really?
Kind of elevate us a little bit. But yeah,
I'm
man,
through it now.
Yeah, I think our oldest video is like November 19th, maybe, or something like that. I don't know, 2019. It's been dude. There's a lot of videos. Like I can look it up.
Yeah, I'm like scrolling through, and it's just like
it's endless.
Holy
shit. Yeah, so our page, it says, I wonder if it'll say.
Yeah, I'm curious. Oh, like how many are?
Yeah, so it's 2.6
million views.
Yeah,
you joined end of June of 2018.
Yeah, 788 videos. Yeah.
Wow.
And those aren't all reactions, just
no, it's not all reactions.
And music and stuff like that, but
it's
there's
a big
definitely
mix.
over 700. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
a
a
lot.
mix. Yeah, no, it's really fucking cool, man, because I was like telling people about you guys, like friends of mine, and I'm like, man, like one friend was like, "Oh, I don't know. I think it's kind of lame that they do like they
Yeah,
tie in the reaction videos with the band stuff." And I'm like, "Well, not I don't think it is because it's like why would they make it separate or just put it under, say your name and you do the reactions, just Richard, right?
yeah,
Or, and have something separated from the band. But like to me, this is making like if someone finds, let's say, one of your podcast episodes with fucking Brad from,
yep,
from Exclaim and Decibel and shit,
yeah,
or they find, you guys doing a reaction to Brand of Sacrifice or Silverstein or whoever. It's like they're gonna actually, if they like what they see, right, they're gonna go through it all and be like, wait a
yep.
minute, they're a band. Okay, let's check out the band now.
Yeah, we always
See if I
put a
like.
clip of one of our songs at the beginning of all the
Oh, you
videos
did?
as well.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah,
See, and
no,
that's it.
it is definitely one of those things that like I know that some people probably think it's lame and that's fine. I mean, it is what it is.
It's just
But
something different, and I think some people don't realize, or
yeah,
they just don't get it right away.
yeah, and I try not to. It's one of those things where I try not to be like like a seer of knowledge. But I've always said that if people don't have something to compare something to, they think it's weird and they write it
Mm-hmm.
off.
And they write it
Uh,
off. Yep.
that's just kind of what I've noticed anyway. I don't know if that's necessarily 100% correct, but
Yeah.
um, I just, I was just kind of one of those things where it's like, like oh, I've had some people say like, well, man, you got to be careful. You don't want to be known
Uh,
as the YouTuber. I'm like, well, I'd rather be known for something than toil in fucking obscurity forever. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, this to
Um,
me makes the band stand out more than others.
yeah. Now we've had a lot of really
It's
awesome
impressive to
interactions
me.
with a lot of bands.
Oh,
So it's
really?
like,
That's cool
yeah, I
too.
mean, we've talked to a lot of guys from, Brand of Sacrifice, from Era, from,
Yeah. To
I
fucking
mean,
Ronnie Radke. I mean,
yeah. I've never had any direct
oh,
contact
not,
with him, but,
but he did.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, but no, I mean, we've definitely had a lot of it's just really cool to like you'll see people just
And I'm
comment
looking
on
through it all.
like Jake Lures from August Burns Red. I mean, he's been in contact with him a little bit.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it's really brought us a lot of really cool connections and like friends or whatever that, who knows if that would have ever happened. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I mean, and especially during the last, how long has it been? 13 months,
Yeah.
over 13 months of a pandemic.
Yep.
So it's kind of like, not being able to play shows, being a newer band as well.
Yeah.
So I think you guys doing this, I mean, well before the pandemic happened,
Yeah.
you've been doing this
Yeah.
longer than the pandemic. So I think it really helps. I think it probably really helped your band and to get noticed more. And I think it's rad. I
Yeah.
mean, when did you guys what the hell is that notification on my computer? Your computer ever
There's
like
always
makes random sounds and you're like,
there's always like
yeah, like
rogue noise.
dun-dun-dun-dun. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? I
Is it
don't
gonna shut down?
I
What's
don't
going
yeah,
on?
I don't see anything wrong. There's no
Yeah, I
notification.
know. I always hear random. I don't even know. There's so many different noises and dings and chimes to all this
Yeah.
different stuff.
It's so ridiculous.
Well,
But
yeah,
anyway,
man.
yeah,
What were
no.
you saying? Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just when did you guys get started on Twitch? When was that? So
I think I want to say 9 or 10 months ago.
when the
I'm only going off of that because of when I've seen people resub, and a lot of them
Oh,
have been there since the beginning. So,
oh,
um,
really?
yeah. So I think about 9 or 10 months. I think is what I want to say. So what would that be like
Not
last
what was
June or whatever? I can't.
June, May,
May, yeah,
May or
something like
June?
that. Something like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. See, Torin said I hit my ninth month resub with them just last week.
So yeah, so Torrance is definitely like kind of like an OG day
The
one
OG one,
supporter.
yeah. I got it.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so he would be a good indicator of when it was not 9 months ago. Yeah.
That's rad. So, dude. So, what made you guys get on Twitch? You think it was just, hey, this is another
Um.
platform that's doing
Yeah.
well. Like we should give it
Yeah.
a shot, maybe.
I think for me, I really wanted to get on Twitch because one, I think that Twitch is cool, but two, I think a lot of people really. I think if you
Mm-hmm.
can build like a relationship with people outside of them just listening to your music, and you can like talk to them and address them as people, and you can interact with them. I think that kind of builds a kind of a cool bond between the content creator slash musician and the viewer, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I've always said that like the easiest thing to do as a band is just respond to somebody. Like if they write like, "Oh man, love this song, you know, it's great." Say, "Thank you so much for listening." And then that right from there, they're like, "Oh wow, like they
They
noticed me,"
care.
or
Yeah.
yeah, they care, you know what I mean? I'm not saying like they notice me like it's, you know, whatever, but
Yeah.
it's just having, you know, but obviously, you know, you can definitely dive into the territory of people, you know, take an inch and make it into a mile. I mean, that's definitely a thing too.
For
But
sure.
no, man, I just thought it was another cool way to connect with people outside of like a recorded reaction video. Like they could see me
Doing it
acting
live
impromptu, like
like we're
impromptu.
doing now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think people are very interested in that.
Yeah. I think there's definitely a good amount of people that are interested in that.
Yeah, and I also think I tried to treat it as too as like you know, at a show, you know,
Mm-hmm.
people would, you know, say hi to you, whatever. And I definitely, you know, when shows do come back and you know you can be within arm length distance of each other or whatever,
Yeah.
I just I look forward to meeting like I know these people by name by
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean? And like
Which is
Torrance, for
fucking
example.
cool.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
like
you're
if I
becoming
was
friends. You're having getting like establishing these relationships.
exactly.
You
And
know, get to know each other.
yeah, exactly. So it's like if I ever ran into them at a show, I could be like, "Hey, it's Torrance. What's up, man?"
Yeah, and
You know, you
then
just know them, you
yeah,
know?
go get a drink together. You know, and it's like, dude, you just like made a friendship. It's like a lot of people like here right now, like Josh and Nevi, Kathy, Benny's been there from like the start of me doing this streaming. Even like Mother Mod, Steph Beach, who's not here right now because he's probably working. He's like one of the OGs, LJ and stuff like that. It's cool.
Yeah,
It's like, dude, we talk all the time through Discord. Like I'm always active on the Discord, like every fucking day. Like, I just
yeah,
have it open. I work from home, so it's like, you know, like we can do, you know, we could all do these things. You guys can too as well. I mean, you guys got, I saw like your Patreon, which I
yep,
just learned about, and that's fucking rad. I mean, you have over 100 supporters on it. I have 100, I think it said like 146 or something.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean,
man,
dude, that's
very fortunate, yeah.
yeah. I mean, I was curious when you told me about the Patreon. You're like, I'm gonna make a post, you know, email everyone about it. I'm like, oh, cool, you know, obviously, thank you. And I was like, let me go check it out. I haven't seen it yet, so I
Yeah,
went and checked it out. I was like, oh wow, damn, okay.
yeah,
And a lot of people,
yeah.
and there's this one guy on YouTube, and he's also on Twitch. His name is Devin Nash, I think. Does that ring a bell to you, Devin Nash?
That
He's
sounds
on
very
YouTube, big
familiar.
YouTube, and he's pretty decent on Twitch, partner
Sounds
Twitch.
very familiar.
Definitely, I'll send you a link after this, but he has some very insightful videos about streaming, YouTube. But he made one specifically where he made out a list of all like these, you know, Patreon, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, you know, or all the ones, even OnlyFans. Like he like
Yeah,
made a whole list and he broke down everything, like literally everything about
yeah,
what they pay out and
yep,
all that, the specifics he went through. And he's like, the top one, it was like OnlyFans, but like the other one was Patreon. He's
yeah,
like, if you're not on Patreon, like in a band, content creator, whatever, he's like, which intrigued me, which I'll probably make one eventually. Uh, he's like, you're fucking stupid, essentially. You know, he's like, there's no reason not to do it. Essentially,
yeah.
if you're in a band or a content creator, there's no
Yeah, it's I mean, and it's one of those things that, you know, as a band, and I know that you've been in the game for a while, and I think
yeah,
the thing that a lot of bands run into is money problems
yes, all the time, yes,
always. So the Patreon is definitely one of those sources where you know, I look at it as like it's like a kind of like a TV station. There's different tiers for the TV station, so to speak,
mm-hmm.
and you can support us, and all that money goes directly into the band.
Dude, yeah. I mean,
I mean directly into it.
Patreon's
So
one of the main, like one that Devin brought up that was like, this is the one that pays out, you know, you get
yeah,
most of it. I mean, and it's like, that's, if you really love a band and you like what they're doing and they have a Patreon, it's worth the money. And it's like, dude, it could be as
yeah,
little as like $5 a month.
Exactly. That's what I always say. It's
Five
like, it's
dollars? Like,
like a
come on.
Starbucks coffee. Exactly.
Yeah,
So
it's
like, yeah. So I mean, for us, the $5 tier, for us is I do album reactions, and I do those. At this point, it's on average like once a week. I do them. So you
wow.
get one of those every week, pretty much, because we also have a tier for people that can request an album reaction. So I do that as well for
Yep.
them. And then you can also vote on the Patreon poll of the week for a reaction video to be put on the YouTube channel. And yeah, that's definitely our most popular tier because it's it's not expensive and it supports us. And I feel that the content is worth it because I put it's a lot of time and effort. It
No, it
really
is,
is.
dude.
It's a lot of time. You can just
Hmm.
ask my girlfriend; she'll tell you. And
Yeah.
but I love doing it, man. Like it's really one of those things that I absolutely love doing it. And I it's
Yeah,
cool
you
that people
actually enjoy
appreciate
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously they could tell you do. I mean, they wouldn't pay if they thought.
Yeah. When
Or,
I'm
you know what I'm
also
saying?
yeah, and I am honest too. Like I'll be doing album reaction. I'm like, man, this is kind of a chore to listen to. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes it's just we're not feeling it, and then but I
Mm.
always reiterate to people, I'm like, listen, man, if you ever request something for us to react to and we're not feeling it, like, don't feel bad. I mean, like, listen, we're here just to do it, and I'm very thankful for you that you care enough to want us to check out something of yours.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
It's
you
just
know,
not your cup of tea. I mean, not,
yeah,
we all have to realize that not we're all not gonna like the same shit.
exactly,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? But
Yep, and yeah, so it's really cool, man. I mean, like, our Patreon, we have like you said,
pull it up.
140 some supporters,
Yeah,
and
man.
it's all that money goes back into the band, and I talk, and I'm very transparent with like our Twitch and Patreon, and of like how much stuff costs as a band to like do it, the right way, so to
Mm-hmm.
speak.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cheap, man. I mean, it's like
No, some things can be a little cheap, but like most of the shit is just, dude, it costs money.
yeah, because I love music videos. I love them.
Me
So
too.
like we've had them for the past 5 songs, and those aren't cheap on top of marketing, on top of mixing the songs, on
Yeah.
top, just it's expensive. So um yeah, all that money goes straight back into it, and it's definitely one of those things that if we ever were to do like a record, like it would be like those patrons' names would be on the
The
pamphlet.
thank yous, yeah.
Yeah, the thank you. They would be all there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you're a big contributor,
yeah. It
honestly. Like
it
if you
truly is,
yeah,
and
and
I
I
know that might sound corny, but, it's like, really, like, you have no idea how important they are.
yeah,
It's true.
it
Yeah.
is. It's very true. And I know like even Spirit Box has one too, right?
Yeah, they do
Right?
as well. Yep.
It's like,
Yeah, it was one of those things. I remember when While She Sleeps, they released their track Sleep Society, and they were on Patreon. That was, like, the big, like, "Whoa, Patreon," and I'm like, "No, man,
oh,
like, this is something you got."
is
Like, this
that
is
when you found out about it or got like inspired to
No,
like
I
or
no, when
what?
I yeah, no, so we had it, but even before that, because I've been watching Finn McKenty on YouTube since he had, like, 500 subscribers. I've been
Oh
watching that
wow.
guy since day one, so I've really picked up a lot from him personally.
That's cool.
Um, yeah, and so I think the thing with bands, though, is that, when it comes to Patreon, I could be wrong, so,
Hmm.
don't kill me if I'm wrong, but at first, you may not get a lot of patrons, and I think that they may not want something that they put out there publicly to reflect that, you know what I mean?
Mm,
Like, if they're like, "Oh, we're a band, but we have 3 people on Patreon.
yeah.
Does that make us look bad?" But
Yeah.
it's one of those things that you have to build up over time. You have to
Yeah, it's
build up
not
over
gonna happen
time.
overnight, especially if
Yeah,
you're a young band. It's
exactly.
not easy at first.
No, not at all. It's tough, and I do say I'm very fortunate for the reaction side of what we do because I know that fuels the majority of it. I'm very
Yeah,
well aware of
that's a
that.
big part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the good thing though too is that when you do join at that $5 tier, you also get the back catalog for like 40 other albums that I've checked out.
Oh wow.
Uh, yeah. So there's a huge back catalog
Yeah,
on
so
there
you get
too.
all that shit right
You get
away.
all that day one. Boom. Yeah.
So a shit ton of content, right? Yeah, that's really that's like a good. I mean, especially to newer people that want to join the Patreon. It's like, dude, sign up today, $5, you get all the shit.
Yeah, like, you wanna know what I think of
You
the
know?
current record from last year? It's on there,
Yeah,
you wanna think of
exactly.
yeah, it's all of it. All Fit for a King album, it's on there?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fucking awesome. Oh, there's Steph now. Steph, are you at work? Are you at work on Twitch, dude? You get your 5 guys today?
Hey, there you go.
No, it's fucking rad, man. A lot of this shit that, you really don't see a lot of bands doing. You don't at all. And
Yeah, and listen,
it's
man,
great.
I'm not a I always say that I'm a guy that's in a band. I'm not a musician. I don't know how
Mhm.
to play guitar. I don't
Yeah.
know. I just yell. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
the thing is, and I've seen these posts on Facebook. So, like the music should speak for itself. Well, it doesn't. I mean, I hate to tell you
Yeah.
that, but it really doesn't this day. I mean, you see any band streaming numbers, they'll release a single on Friday. It'll be like doop, doop, doop. And then by the time Tuesday comes, it's like doop, doop,
Doop
doop,
doop.
doop.
Yeah, man.
They're like, what's next? What's next? They're like, they're crackheads in a sense. You know what I mean? They're looking
Yeah.
for the next
I mean,
thing.
that's really how it is nowadays.
Yeah. So it's like, we can't put out music every day. So it's like, if we can just keep something there to keep engaging people and
And
building that
growing it.
relationship with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about.
I loved what you did with when you guys were advertising your new single, Deadbeat Lullaby. That
The tour poster. Yeah,
I
dude,
saw it, like I didn't like when I just saw like the thumbnail, it was small and I'm like, are they going on tour? What is
yeah,
this?
exactly. See,
I
that's
was
what
like, what is this? I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, so we worked with a graphic designer on that. I'm like, dude, I have this weird idea. I said,
Yeah.
like, I want to, because obviously shows are coming back. I said it's kind of a mean thing, but it's also
Yeah.
kind of hopefully gets a laugh,
Yeah, exactly.
like the streaming service tour, just make like a bunch of dates, all the different platforms.
With where it's going to be live on. Yeah.
Yeah, and what my intent was for people to be like, oh, are they going on tour? And then they click on it like, oh, okay, boom. So I got you.
Motherfuckers got me.
Yeah.
I know the
that
song's coming out, Richard. You got me again. Damn it,
Yeah,
man.
so that was definitely the intent, and I
That's
thought it
so
was a
good.
cool, fun little thing.
I think it will. I really, I got a laugh out of it, and I still do. Bringing it up now, I'm like, this is fucking funny.
Yeah,
It's such a good idea, but
Yep.
it's creative shit, man. Sometimes that idea that just pops in your head, and you're just like, oh, let me try it, see what
Yeah.
happens, and you get like a good amount of people get a kick out of it. You're like, okay, that went over well,
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm just always because again, man, it just goes back to what I said, is that I know that the music can only go so far. So I'm always trying to think of ways for people to be interested in what's happening,
Mhm. Yeah, definitely a good way to do it.
Yeah, because I
And
think like Brad is a great example. What he did with Brand of Sacrifice, he made them into like the supreme of deathcore. You know what I mean? And,
literally,
and
that's
that
a prime
stuff is
example
cool.
too, right there.
Yeah, so they did a great job, and like that's the kind of stuff that I look, and I'm always looking. And like, I'm definitely not like a visionary, not nothing like that. But
Yeah,
I'm always paying attention to the bands that I feel like, damn, like like people can say what they want about the band I Prevail, but they do that stuff on another level. I mean, they're
man.
very good at marketing and that kind of stuff.
Dude, they really are.
Yeah, like
That
Spirit Box is another one. I mean,
great one.
yeah,
And
I
they
was-
they did everything right, I believe, with the singles. They put out
Exactly.
they put out,
Yeah.
I think I don't know, before the first EP, they probably put out like 1 or 2 songs and they released the EP. I forget the rollout for the EP. But I that's how I've been listening to that band from literally the first song they put out. And
Oh wow.
and and everything they've done since then, all the content and how they roll out their singles and
Yep.
stuff. I'm like, damn, this is how you fucking do it. And I feel like
Yeah.
they really inspired a lot of other bands to do that same shit. I mean, it's the best way to keep the shit going and keep like people coming back to your band and listening to it and and getting more fans. Like even with like Disentomb, which is like Disentomb's a straight up like death metal slam band,
Yeah.
really good band, right? They're like a Fetus, Cattle Decapitation,
Okay, I got
and
you.
even Jordan I had on here a few weeks ago, he was even telling me, he's like, yeah, we're just gonna release like probably like 3 more singles this year, and then next year we'll roll out the record, and then these songs may or may not be on the record, but
Yeah.
we want to keep putting out a new song like every couple months,
Yep.
and then roll out a record and get back on tour, and then that's how we're gonna do it. And I'm like, it's a great idea. And you don't, especially coming from a band like that, like you don't
You don't see that kind of stuff.
no, man, not with death metal.
No, not at
No,
all.
man, not with death metal.
No, that's really cool.
And I was
I
like,
think
dude,
that's really cool for,
yeah.
especially like you said, for death metal. I mean, they kind of have their way of doing things from what I've observed, and
Oh yeah, no, they
so it's
do.
cool.
It
That is
is.
really cool. But no, I'm fortunate to have Mike Stringer from Spirit Box on our podcast, and I've I've
I
talked
gotta
to him
watch
here and
that
there
one.
since then.
Shit.
Yeah, and he's a super cool guy, and I tell him all the time. I'm just like, man, like you guys are a great inspiration, especially
To a
for
lot of bands.
yeah, and I know I always think that kind of stuff may come off as cheap, but it's true. It's like I
Yeah,
tell him,
man.
I'm like, man, like you guys just do it the right way, and it's just very cool to see. And I told him, I'm like, whatever success you guys achieve, you earn. I mean,
You
100%.
earned it,
I
dude.
mean, yeah, I mean, I just listening to like when we had Mike on, like his story, or with I Wrestled the Bear once,
Yeah.
and his bands before that, and
Hmm.
just to where they are now, man. It's just it couldn't happen to better people,
I know, really though. It's such a great fucking band.
Yeah, they're phenomenal.
So how many times a week do you guys stream on Twitch? Usually, is it
About
do you have like a schedule?
yeah,
for
there's
it?
like a set schedule, but I'll pop on when I can. Additionally, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
Mondays and Saturdays. Yeah,
Mondays and Saturdays, rad. Yeah,
Yep.
I usually do like the podcast on.
Yep.
Usually it's Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Gotcha.
And I work around the guests too. Like when I reached out to you, I was like, here's the dates.
Yep.
Here's some times that I think work well.
Yep.
You tell me what you want to do, and then we'll do it. So I try to be as flexible as I can with it. And then I'll pop on like every Saturday for the most part, and sometimes on random days where I'm just feeling it. Like I woke up, I think it was like a week ago, and I did like I woke up with Korn stuck in my head. Woke up with a Korn
Yeah,
song in my
I
head.
actually tuned into
Yeah,
that
you did. And I
a
was
little
like,
bit,
I want to listen to fucking new metal today.
yeah. Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do today. And I'm like, I'm in the mood. So I used to have like a set schedule for streams, and then I kind of got over it.
Yeah.
And I guess I have one now.
It was always like that baseline,
Yeah. But I like just popping on randomly.
Yeah.
And, some people that follow me or in my Discord, like always at my streams, they're like, "Oh shit, you're live? I didn't know
Yeah.
you were going." I'm like, "Hey man, it's just gonna happen sometimes that way.
Just hey, whatever,
It's
we're
just
just
gonna
going
be that
for
way,
it
bro."
today.
Yeah, exactly. So it's been, Twitch has been a great fucking platform. Like I told you before we started this today, this stream, that I'm getting all my episodes for my podcast uploaded to all platforms. There's some up now that are old ones that I should have edited better, but I didn't. But they say they're old, so give me a break. And I'm gonna get the rest up. Though there's fucking 50 of them. God damn it! Why didn't I do this from the start?
Yeah.
Well, like my whole idea was like, live shows are gone, right?
Right.
Right now, and I was just like, I want to do like a live podcast, and I really want to base it around being fucking live and like everyone coming here and watching it like this and being a part of it and not have it pre-recorded. So that was always a thing. And I was just so, and then obviously I upload it to YouTube because, not everyone's going to be able to make it here today and at this time and be here for this. So I'm like, I'll upload it to YouTube. And then people are like, man, you get on Spotify, Apple Music, you got on Amazon. I'm like, no, you got to be here for it. But my friend Fred was like, yo, I think you should upload them to get it uploaded everywhere because you don't know what's going to come from that. And I'm like, yeah, you got a point.
Yeah. No, it's
valid point there.
Yeah. I mean, wherever you can spread it out at, I mean, there's always going to be somebody on some obscure somewhere that will listen to it,
Mm-hmm. You're not fucking wrong about that at all.
Yeah. No, the podcasts are awesome, man. I just think, even with, the kind of, I like to call it like the uprise of the podcast, through the pandemic.
Big time, yeah.
There's still not that many like metal ones.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah.
I really have.
Yeah, there's just not that many. And
No.
I think that they're awesome. And like, especially for somebody like me, that's in a band, you get to, engage with these people and, listen, I leverage the YouTube subscriber. I'm like, listen, man, we got,
yeah, you got it sometime. Yeah.
We got,
I mean, it is impressive. When I saw
got,
you got 14,000 subs on YouTube, I was like, damn.
Yeah, which,
That's
in the grand scheme of things isn't a lot, but it's enough
no,
to,
man.
get your foot in the door with some of these people and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, you want to come on and,
Do
shoot
this.
the shit for a little while?"
Yeah.
And from there, you kind of develop a little bit more of a relationship. And what I think is really cool is that, you have people on the podcasts that you've never spoken to a word in real life
Yes.
to, and you just go for 2 hours. You know what I mean? It's just really
And
cool.
just learn about each other, talk, and everything. I mean, I can't even tell you how many people, the majority of, I mean, a lot of people that I've had on my podcast are people I work with
Yeah.
or I've known, but we never got to know each other,
Yeah.
you
Yep.
know? And it's like, and even with bands that I work with, like I never got
Knew
to
who they
know
were as
them as
people.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's just like to sit down and like chat with them, see how they grew up and how they got into this music and all that. It's really fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's
No, it
really
really
cool,
is.
man.
It is really cool. And so that's why I wanted to do the podcast because like I said, I have my degree in journalism, so I've always
Yeah.
enjoyed that kind of stuff.
That's really
And
cool that you have that too.
yeah, and even when I was, I don't know, like a teenager, I did a podcast as well where I interviewed
Oh,
like some baseball players and stuff like that, like
no
like,
shit.
like minor league players. Yeah, like
Yeah.
just stuff to kind of, I always enjoyed that kind of stuff. And so yeah,
That
with
is
this
cool, man.
podcast, yeah, no, man, it really is cool. And like I was just like, I was like, the only thing though is that when I start this, I gotta come out of the gate with a big guest. It's gotta start off hot.
For sure.
So I
Yeah.
got, Frankie Palmieri was the first guest.
Was
So
he?
yeah.
I
So
gotta
I
go
was
back to that. I've known Frankie for a long time.
yeah,
It's one
no,
of those
it was
bands
yep, no, and
growing
like
up.
I said, Amira's my favorite band, and I tell him all the
That's
time, like,
so sick. He was down to do it.
yeah, well,
Your first
that's
one.
yeah, exactly. I mean, he could have said like,
Or just
fuck
ignored
you,
it.
it's like, yeah, he could have said no. It was like,
Like, who are you?
who are you? It's your first podcast, whatever.
Yeah.
No, man, he was more than down. And, I remember we got to like the hour point. I was like, well, man, listen, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. He's like, well, what else do I got to do?
What a good response.
Yeah, I loved it. And,
It's like, oh, okay.
yeah. So it's funny. Like
Yeah, I'm looking through all this.
yeah, I remember when I first hit him up because, I had, gotten, a couple meet and greets over the, the past couple years to his shows. And,
Yeah.
exchange a couple emails with him, just about asking for like tips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Always been a super nice guy to me. I mean, I know that obviously
Yeah,
some
he is.
people have a different perception
I
of
know.
him, but I've never had that
I never had it
encounter.
either.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
always been cool to me.
exactly. So
Always.
he was super down to do it, and
That's
I
rad.
actually for Deadbeat Lullaby, I actually did hit him up because I was kind of poking at like maybe a feature. I was like,
Maybe
we'll
see if he's
see.
down.
Yeah, and I was like, "Hey, man, it's Richard. I don't know if you remember me." He's like, "I'm offended that you think I wouldn't remember you." He's just a super nice guy. I mean, at
Yeah.
least, like I said, I can only speak anecdotally,
Exactly.
but
Yeah.
yeah, man, I don't know. It's just been really cool to have different guests like that on, and it's like what you were saying earlier about some of the bigger guests. As far as the numbers go,
Yeah.
it's very surprising who draws and who doesn't draw, so to speak.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's just a good chat. And like, I'm not looking to, make a Joe Rogan $100 million
Yeah, no,
contract
exactly.
podcast. Or
Yeah.
anything.
I'm
Just
the
a
same
cool-
way. I don't look at the viewers. I don't care about that. Like sometimes there's been streams where it's been like overwhelming. Like, oh my God, there's a lot of fucking people here. I'm like, holy shit, I can't even keep up with the chat. What are you guys saying?
Yeah.
And I like to try to keep up and make sure,
Right.
I always tell people like, hey, if you got a question, don't be
Throw it in.
afraid. Throw it in there, and I'll copy and paste it, throw it in my notepad, and make sure to get to it.
Right.
And but like it's definitely hit or miss. Sometimes it's you have 20 people, 15 people. Sometimes
Yep.
I've had 90, dude, and it's like, oh god damn. But
Yeah.
it's like, but then I've had guests that are like, I'm not gonna say who, but where I thought, okay, this will probably do like 40-ish, 50. And it's done like, 25, 20. And I'm like, oh, that's weird, but whatever. We had a good time.
Yeah.
But then, I'll post it on YouTube and stuff. And I see like I'm like, oh, okay. It just, not everyone's going to make it here on time.
Exactly. No,
So
it's
you can't-
definitely, it's just a good way, it's to me, I look at it in two ways. One, it's a, kind of, I guess, that word networking, or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
but, you meet somebody that way, but then also for us, it's providing more content for people who, watch our channel.
yeah.
And it's just more stuff to, you know, just watch and sink your teeth into. And,
Exactly. Go
people
down.
get excited about that kind of stuff.
Yep. They definitely fucking do, man. It's cool. The podcast stuff, I've been like really enjoying it. It's
Yeah,
fun.
it's a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, I'm like
It's
looking through your YouTube right now. I didn't go this way back. Damn, it's nuts.
yeah, there's
It's
a lot of stuff.
nuts, dude. It's
Yeah.
nuts. It's so cool though. Like I'm very I'm very very impressed by it. This is the stuff like I even look for when picking up a band. Like when I want to work with a band, like if I find a band, I'm like, oh, this band's cool. I'm like, well, let me look at all their content. Like, let me see what they're doing. Like, are they active? You know?
Yeah. Do they post more
Do
than
they
once every 6 weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have an Instagram? Do they got a Twitter? You know what I'm saying? Like, some bands don't have a Twitter. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm
Yeah,
like,
so it's actually it's cool that you bring that up because I think that's the one thing that I'm really looking forward to with shows coming back. Not only, just shows coming back in general, but two, also showing like, hey guys, listen, for the road rats of the scene or whatever. Like I want to be like, listen, man, like we can also take this we can do this live. We can play this music.
oh, yeah, yeah.
We're not just like a YouTube, Twitch band, and you know what I mean? Not that I'm
Yeah.
saying that it's a bad thing or whatever, but
No, it's
I think
definitely not.
that's kind of probably an initial stigma that people may have. They're like,
Like
oh,
off
they're
the
just
bat.
that YouTube band or whatever. But no, man, I look forward to shows coming back because I want to go out and play in front of people and do
Meet
that
everybody.
live. And
Yeah.
yeah,
And
I
I'm
mean,
sure you're gonna meet a ton of people that, hey man, I've been following your guys'
exactly.
YouTube for like fucking the last year. This is cool to
Exactly.
finally meet you.
And I've always thought,
like,
I'm like,
yeah,
dude, like
dude.
how cool would it be
That's
to be on the road?
sick.
Because I have this a Roadcaster, which is, I mean, this thing is the end all be all for recording podcasts. to
Yeah.
me. But I, take that on the road and you can film reactions with people like random people,
Yeah,
and,
man.
it's just stuff like that. I think it just creates a different experience for a show that it's really cool.
Yes,
Um,
it does.
Live podcasts, stuff like that. I don't know. It's just
There's a lot of things you can do with it, man.
yeah.
There's a
So
lot of shit.
yep. And that's how I look at it. That's the only thing that I stress now is that like I don't want to say I have like a chip on my shoulder to show people like, hey, we can do this, the right way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just like we're all still learning too.
Yeah,
At the same
exactly.
exact time, we're all still fucking learning how to do all this crap.
Right. Because like
nuts.
I said, this is my first band ever. So
Literally,
I'm still learning all that stuff.
Yep.
So yeah,
right,
I
man.
mean I'm definitely looking forward to that part of it.
Yeah. Get back to shows, meeting everybody. It's
Yep.
gonna be fucking awesome.
Yeah, yeah. I hope so, man. I hope
I
that
know,
it
I know.
happens when we
It's
all
looking-
think it's going to.
I know. I hope nothing gets in the
know.
way.
Yeah, mutated strain, and I'm
I
just
don't wanna go into it.
yeah,
I don't want to think about it, Richard.
Yeah, I know, dude. I know.
I know what you mean
my
now.
brain
It's in
goes
the back
like-
of my head.
Yep.
It's always in the back of my head. I'm like, oh, all right.
Well, because I was on Hulu last night, and there was like this show on there that's like the COVID-23 virus has struck, and people have been in lockdown for. I'm like, come on, now,
Stop
bro.
it, Jesus!
It's like that's a show. I'm
I
like,
know
they
it's
didn't waste
nuts.
any time.
They
They didn't
don't,
waste any
man. They
time,
don't.
you know?
But fucking dude, this has been great to do with you today.
Thank you, man.
I can't go too much longer. I actually have work to do. The work is actually picking up, which is like wild to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, I actually have a job again.
Yeah, weird.
I'm like,
Oh,
this
but
is
that's cool,
fucking
man.
weird. But yo, this has been a blast to get to know you. I know we're gonna stay in touch. I definitely want to keep talking to you and
Oh yeah.
you guys. You're a great fucking band and loving the music so far. So I'm really stoked to hear what else you guys got as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, keep this shit rolling.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully
man.
meet
Thank you,
soon, man.
Yeah, we'll definitely you could come on our show,
I'm down. Yeah, just let me know whenever you want to do it, dude.
Hell yeah, man.
Throw me
No,
some dates and I'll let you know which works and we'll go from there.
Perfect, man.
Fucking
Well, yeah,
down,
thank
bro.
you. Absolutely. No, but thank you again for having me on. This was
Yeah.
a lot of fun, bro. Thank
Yes,
you.
it's been a blast. Yo, everyone check out TrueShot. If you don't already, definitely check them out. They're everywhere, literally. Right now, I think it'll be a good time to go fucking raid my boy Mike Leon Shreds from Soulfly. It's his
Oh, there
birthday.
you go.
Yeah, it's his fucking birthday today on 420, of course.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
he
All
loves
right.
he
All
loves
right.
his marijuana.
Yeah.
Loves his marijuana. So I definitely want to go fucking raid him, which I'm gonna start it up right now. So everyone stick in here, join the raid. If you guys know who fucking Mike Leon is, he's the bassist of Soulfly, the bassist of the band The Absence. He used to be in the band Havoc for a while, and he's been on Twitch for like not even a year, and he's fucking crushing it. But anyway, today is his birthday on 4 fucking 20, of course, of all days. This would be his birthday, so we're gonna go raid him. Richard, again, thank you so much, man. It's been a blast doing this.
Thank you, man. I
Hell yeah.
appreciate it.
All right, guys, we're gonna go raid Mike. I'll see you on Thursday. I have Albert, the owner from Decibel Magazine, as my guest, so definitely be here on Thursday. It's gonna be a blast. All right, see you later. Let's see.